Commitment 2026 coverage now. For the first time, a majority of the candidates running for Wisconsin governor on the same stage. 6 candidates at a forum, and it was moderated exclusively by 12 News political director Matt Smith, who tonight brings us inside.
Let's give them a round of applause. We'll introduce them.
For the first time today, a majority of the major candidates for governor, Democrat and Republican, on the same stage. A conversation hosted by the Wisconsin Tech Council, an official advisor to the Wisconsin governor, focused on tech and the economy.
Let's start here.
The conversation turned into the explosion of data centers across the state and how they'd navigate the quickly changing landscape as governor.
I'm curious, though, just your broad thoughts on data centers here in Wisconsin and what you see as the state's role.
As we talk about companies who are, $15 billion investment, how do we leverage that for community benefits across the entire state of Wisconsin?
We talked to them about their environmental needs, about where they're building and how to make that happen in a way that has the least impact to the communities and the best benefit for Wisconsin.
I'm a giant advocate of doing data centers, but we've got to be smart about it. And right now, we don't know enough to be smart about it.
We're hearing from communities who have large concerns around environmental impact, as well as what's going to happen to their utility bills, both water and electricity.
It's not a yes or no. It's not a picking winners or losers. We need to work with the community themselves and put some of those discussions up front about energy usage and water usage.
Data centers are coming, whether people like it or not. So I think the question for policymakers is, can we implement a strategic plan?
The candidates also on President Trump and the economy, Republican Josh Schoemann.
Let's face it, the world economy, the changes that the world are going through right now are massive and drastic, and it's not a Donald Trump thing, it's a global thing.
And Democrats making it known Trump will be part of their campaign.
Trump is a bully and an authoritarian.
Donald Trump believes in silver bullets. He believes in big flashy things that are going to save the economy.
The first joint forum, and definitely not the last. In Madison, I'm Matt Smith, WISN 12 News.
Congressman Tom Tiffany, the other Republican in the race, did not attend today's event. His campaign says in a statement, quote, Congressman Tiffany is prepared to fly to D.C. As shutdown negotiations unfold. You can watch the full conversation on data centers right now on the 12 News YouTube page.